Welcome to TBS. Today we're going to do a reading about George Smith IV, who died on a cruise ship in 2005. It was his honeymoon. He was with his new wife, Jennifer, and they had partied. There was a lot going on that ship. Tara Reid was on that ship, the celebrity. They were drinking a lot. There was lots to do because of the casino that the men wanted to do. There was dancing. Jennifer and George had been fighting that night on and off. She even kicked him. She was flirting with other people. He was flirting with other people. And the men that he hung out with that night, they had absinthe and other things. They were younger by a few years than George and Jennifer. And it seemed like a very odd thing because she was hanging out more with one of the employees and he was hanging out more with these young men. People have wondered, was he gay? Was there some kind of tryst between Jennifer and someone else? What happened was definitely that he fell off of his balcony. There was blood on an awning below, and then he fell into the water sometime around 4 a.m. No one knows if he was pushed off, if he fell off by himself, etc. There was somebody in the next cabin, who was a policeman taking a cruise, I think by himself, who inserted himself into the situation and was telling a bunch of things that happened, what he heard. So it could either be that he was making it all up. He did hear some of it. Maybe he got mad because he was sick of hearing the younger people party and he pushed him off the awning. So there's lots of people that could have done George in on this cruise. And there's also, he could have just been drunk and gone off himself, or realized that he married the wrong person and decided to hurt himself by jumping / falling overboard. So what we want to do, pretty much no one's ever been able to go down any of these avenues very far. There's always an alibi in the way. There's always something going on. So we want to see if we can figure out through the cards what actually happened to George. His family obviously has their own opinions. Jennifer has said that she wanted to move on immediately, and it does seem like they were not well suited to each other because they obviously weren't getting along on the honeymoon, and it's the honeymoon, you know. It seemed like they both were really heavy drinkers and partiers, and maybe that would have been fine later on. Maybe they would have figured it out. Maybe they wouldn't have. Who knows? But let's see what we can figure out here. So we want to ask the cards what was going on that night. We want to know who killed Brian, or if he fell over of his own accord, accident or otherwise. So we're going to ask the cards. Give us some kind of idea of Brian. So we have the world. This is showing that pretty much the ship is a world unto itself, and if you've ever been on a cruise, you know that there's a lot of different kinds of people, but they're all on the same goal. They all want to have fun. And in 2005, it was a lot more camaraderie based than it is now, where if people go on a cruise now, they're a little bit more afraid. Back then, people did hang out with strangers a lot more. Three of Cups, we have what would be the 3 or 4, perhaps, men to hanging out. It could also stand for Jennifer, the employee, and George having a problem between themselves in a love triangle. We have the High Priestess, meaning that Jennifer was an entity unto herself. Six of Swords, that does not bode well. and the Tower. So we have here perhaps something. This is talking about the boat itself. What's going on in the boat? It seems like as a high priestess, she's actually separated herself from the situation of the men having fun, and separated herself from the Tower. But let's see here. Let's look at some more answers here. Judgment. There is judgment on both their parts, as you can see from the card. The Two of Cups. They were contemplating how they were together and how they were as partners. This is death here, showing that literally he died, and perhaps also their romance was dying. You have the Nine of Wands and the Six of Wands. Okay, so this is showing that they were both defending themselves in their actions about what they wanted to do that night. Perhaps it was more about how they wanted to have fun in different ways, and it was not working out. Nine of Coins. So she's assessing that she has what she needs in her life, and if he isn't gonna get on board with it, why is she even with him? A lot of women feel that all the time. And then the Magician. This could either mean that she felt she was magician-wise and she could fix it, or he felt this way. Because we asked about Brian, I'll assume this is him. And then Queen of Wands. She felt very powerful that night. She felt like she could get what she wanted out of all the men. And this was because she was drunk, but also because she felt empowered. She was the center of attention. And then she had a lot of men, 7 men to pick from that night. She was not focused on George. Jen wasn't. And then the Moon. She probably had lied to him about certain things that had happened. And they were both contemplating the future and the voyage. Now, Page of Coins could mean that one of the boys brought up the absinthe, or they brought up having more fun. There was a food party in George's suite with the boys. And Hermit could be the policeman next door. Him being aroused by all these problems next door and all this fighting and stuff that he said he heard, or just partying. And Three of Wands, meaning I would say all of them are looking to the future in this room, thinking what the heck's going on, what's going to happen next. Let's go through and... Okay, so this will be the best truth right now is like if we're in the room, they're all thinking, what should we be doing? Should we be getting out of here, the men? Because perhaps George is getting very weird talking about his relationship. They don't want to hear that. Okay, 10 of Coins. So they did have fun. And 10 of Wands, heavy burden on all of them, especially what happened next. So let's see what's gonna go on. Okay, Temperance. This is showing that afterwards everyone was having temperance. 7 of Wands. So intuitively from the card, I'm getting that this means there was a lot of pointing the finger. Also, there was a lot of talk about who's to blame. But in actuality, there was only one person involved here. Now, this is scary because this means the marriage, the 4 of Wands. So if there is only one person to blame, Who was it? Wow. Does this mean Jen did it? Because it's the wedding. 10 of Cups. Did she use what she thought she deserved to push him overboard? Like, she thought she didn't deserve to deal with this, or she used her certain love that she had, like fake love, to like fool him into a false security so that she could push him over. She didn't want to deal with him anymore. She thought of him as a appendage. 2 of Coins. She had 2 decisions to make, 2 different people that night. An idea. And her thinking him having this money. So she did get his money somehow. Not all of it, but some of it perhaps. Let's go back. The policeman said also that he did not hear a woman's voice at all. An Ace of Swords. So cut with the truth. So overall, I'm getting, unfortunately, I didn't think this would be the answer, but unfortunately that Jen did push him over and she got really sick of him. She didn't want to be married to him. And it was more like an anger thing where she pushed him over, he died, and she got away with it. That's pretty amazing, actually. 5 of Swords. Okay, so she does feel regret and she knows that she did wrong, but she feels really happy she got away with it. And her family, they kind of know the truth. His family kind of know the truth. Did he have a son with someone else? That would be interesting to find out. And then also Queen of Coins. So that's what she really cared about. So let's go through the cards again just to make sure, because it's a little bit tricky. I just want to make sure here. It's really Jen that she really did it. So you know, in my last reading, that Jen was not, wasn't guilty, according to the cards. See, you can find here. I just want to know, was it Jen? Was it Jen? Did Jen decide to get rid of him and sleep in the corridor? She just did not want to be part of it. She saw him as weak. Did she get away with murder? Crime of passion, maybe. Knight of Cups. Whoa, okay, so he definitely loved her. And then did she kill him? Page of Swords. This shows contemplation. Her being childish. And the Moon. Hiding what she did. And one more card. Justice. Holy Lord. Okay, so according to the card, she did it, and justice is still coming for her. This is something very bizarre. I mean, this moon could also mean justice was obscured and hidden, but justice came last as the card. So, let me see one. Oh gosh. Okay. They could have thought about money or children or anything that night. But the devil won. And her passion won. So I'm going to say this was all about Jen and she did it. So, wow. Unexpected and sad. Really sad. But as most people know, if you want to I shouldn't say this, but if you want to get away with a murder, doing it on the open water is the best way to get away with it. Over and over again, it's been proven. The water washes away all sins, and also washes away evidence. See you later.